Shikshak e-learning solutions or Shells is into the business of interactive technologies. The company assists educational institutions in having a customized classroom technologies with a minimum hardware integration like having an interactive projector connected to a computer or a laptop, or it could be an interactive whiteboard which is connected to a normal projector and then which in turn is connected to a computer or a laptop. The entire software integration is done in such a way that the requirement for server and a separate resource center is optional. The interactivity of the projector or the interactivity of the whiteboard, it helps the teacher to do all those activities that are beyond the scope of a conventional blackboard. The software has various functionalities like cut, copy, paste, record, capture, zoom, spotlight, annotate, measurement tools, and many more that would for sure make teaching and learning experience extremely interesting and engaging. Now, there are three ways in which you can have an interactive classroom solution. The one is you connect an interactive whiteboard to a projector which in turn is connected to a laptop or a computer. The second option is you have got a normal whiteboard connected to an interactive projector. The third option is you have got a normal whiteboard connected to a normal projector which in turn is connected to an interactive unit. This interactive unit can either be placed on the projector or it can be kept on a whiteboard. Now in all the cases, we get an interactive surface anywhere in the range of 60 inches to 105 inches or 120 inches. In the next screen we can see there are some few images over here when you can see a laptop being connected to an interactive projector. In the next image you can see that the projection is being made on the wall over here. Now when we project it on the wall, we have to calibrate it so that the area within the calibration becomes completely interactive. There's one more image over here. You can see an interactive projector displayed on the wall. Now this is one of the top views how a projector setup looks like. Now irrespective of the kind of interactive device, whether it's an interactive board or an interactive projector or an interactive unit, they offer the below mentioned tools like you have got a pen, you have got a eraser, you have got you can change the color of the pen, you have a fill color option which with which you can fill a rectangle or a square or a circle, whatever you want to be filled. Then you have got a brush option, then you have got a rover or a pan with which you can move an image anywhere on the screen. Then you have a zoom in, zoom out, then you can add or delete pages. You have an intelligent pen option, then you have got a fluorescent pen option. In addition to these things, you can cut, you can copy, you can paste, you can annotate on those things. Then coming to mathematical tools, you have got a scale, you have got a compass, you have got a protractor, you have got a set squares. Apart from that, to work with the animation or the image, you have got an image capture unit, you have got a wrap screen, and you have got a spotlight. In addition to these things, any all these interactive units or interactive whiteboards or interactive projectors come with basic library which contains some tools associated with maths and science. Now let us see how to use some of these tools over here. For example, we want to use a scale in the classroom. The one thing we can note over here is any tool, whether it's a scale or a protractor or a compass or any other image, they can be rotated, okay, both clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. They can be reduced and they can be increased. For example, I want to draw a line, simply select a pen tool, okay, and then draw a line like this. Now I want to draw one more line, so simply click on this and you can draw a line like this. Now I don't want the scale anymore, so I have an option, click on this and it gets exited. Now the line whatever I have drawn needs to be measured, so go to a select option, click on the line diagonally, the one which you want to measure. You can see there are four tools available at the four corners. So click on the first one, you will get to know the measurement of the particular line. Now it is 15.2. the convention can be 15.2 centimeters, 15.2 millimeters, 15.2 inches or meters, whatever conventions you follow in the classroom. The second tab will actually help you to change the color of the line. For example, I want to make it a green color line, I can make a green color line. The third option is I want to change the thickness of the line, simply click on the middle, the line gets thicker. Now for our demonstration purpose, let us keep it as thin only. Now I want to copy this line now, so I can copy a copy option over, select a copy option over here, select already the line which needs to be copied is already selected. Now click on the paste. Now you can paste the copied line wherever you want. Now sometimes you may be required to change the dimension of the line. You can see a green dot at the end of the line. Let us change the color of the line for our understanding purpose. Now green dot, it can be either increased, Now green dot, you can see it, you can either extend the line or you can reduce the line. Now as I extend it, you can also see the change in the dimensions of the line. Okay, now the next option is coming to right side, you can increase or decrease the line over here. There's one more option of doing that. The third one is you can rotate the line, okay, as an way, the way you want it. The fourth option is you can move the line wherever you want it. Wherever you want, you can easily move it. So like this we can move it. Now erase option, now there are again three types of eraser. For example, I want to erase a part of the line, so simply click on erase and the part of the line gets erased. Now sometimes I may require to erase the entire line, so simply go to this one and select region eraser. You can select the region you want to erase, click on it, the entire line gets erased. So like this, the entire screen gets erased. Now there's one more interesting tool over here. For example, I am teaching something called as an equation y is equal to mx plus c, and I start the classroom, and in a normal whiteboard the space is limited, so if I want to write anything else I have to erase this, but in this case I need not erase it. The zoom in zoom out option, click on this one, and with the rover you can keep it aside and you can continue normal class. Now at the end of the classroom, when you want to do a recall of whatever you have told, you can again pull it back, and then with the zoom in option you can again increase the size of this. So like this we can use a zoom in and a zoom out option. We also saw how to use a eraser also. Now coming to the next one, this is how we can use a region eraser. Now coming to the next one, there is something called as a compass. Now with the compass we can do two things. One is we can draw an arc, we can draw a sector. For example, I want to draw an arc. Now the compass, the head can be moved the way you want it. Okay, even the arm can be moved like this. Unwanted line, again you can take it off by using a region eraser. Now select a pen and you want to draw an eraser circle. Simply select it and a circle is drawn. Now I want to measure the circle. How big is the circle? Simply click on the select option and you'll get to know how a circle can be measured. Similarly, you can change the outline of it. You can also fill color in this. For example, I want to fill it with different color, I can do so. Now again with the copy and paste option, I can have n number of circles, and it is possible to change the dimension and the color of each of these copied circles as well. So similarly with this, similarly with these things, we can also draw a sector. Now let us see how to draw a sector in this case. Now click on this one. For example, click on this. You can have 1 by 2 or 1 by 3 which can be easily drawn in the classroom. For example, I have drawn some 3 segments over here. Now I want to know how much each of these measure. For example, select on this one, you'll get to know how much it measures. Now select, for example, I can move it wherever you want it. Okay, now I want to measure this part. Click on this and you'll get to know how big is this. Now I want to color this portion. I can color it and I can simply mention it as 1 by 3 in this case. Now similarly, you have protractor over here with which I can draw an angle, increase the size of this, decrease the size of this. With this again you have 3 options. Either I can draw an arc or a sector or an angle. For example, I want to draw an angle in this one. Select angle, simply click on this and an angle can be drawn automatically. Now the work of protractor is over. Click on this one and then exit. I want to measure this, go to select option, click the angle you want to measure, click on the first option and you'll get to know what is the angle of the particular line. Now you can either make it as in this case again you'll have a green dot over there. Either you can increase it, make it as an obtuse angle, or make it as an acute angle, or even you can make it as a straight line over here or a reflex angle. So all these things are possible with a protractor. Okay, going to the next option. Now we have already seen how how we can use a scale and a compass and as well as a protractor. Now we also have got these kind of set squares, so with which you can draw various other lines or images in the classroom. Wherever you want, you can move it like this. So like this, there are 2 things available. You can increase the size, you can reduce the size like this. You can play it the way you want it. Click on this and exit. Now coming to the most important feature, now let us try and understand how to use a spotlight, how to use image capture, and how to use a wrap screen. Okay, one more thing is whatever we are doing in this particular session, all the screens can be recorded. You have got a save option, you have got a file option over here. You can open, you can have a new file, you can open, you can save as, you can export, and even you can send it. Now coming to this one, see, it's so easy. For example, I click on this toggle button and I immediately come onto my laptop screen. Now let us see how we can use the images. For example, we have an image over here, and now I want to use a spotlight option. For example, in the classroom, I may be required, for example, to show a particular part. For example, I want to focus only on this part, or I may want to focus on this part. The spotlight helps me to focus on the region, whatever I want. This is basically, useful in ensuring that the class is focusing on a concept, whatever is being taught. Now I can increase this, I can reduce this, I can even change the shape of this particular spotlight. So that is how we can use a spotlight. The next option is, for example, the next option is, for example, I want to cut a portion of the image. For example, I want to cut a portion of an image. For example, I want to cut this portion and teach more on this one. For example, I have cut that and I can paste it over here. Now you can see it, how big it becomes. I can increase the size of this also. Now the teacher can easily mention whatever notes she wants to mention. She can change the color of the pen, and she can keep on marking, whatever. She can label all these things. For example, this is X, or this is Y, this is Z, this is A. So like this it happens on. Now coming back to my image, now I want to use a wrap screen option over here. For example, in the classroom, I may need to cover only a portion of this one, so I can cover it like this. Now whichever portion I want, I can cover it. Now whichever I want to uncover it, I can simply move it. I need not move all along the board. I can simply stand at the corner and I can move this one. Now I can click on this one, can be exited. Now these are two things. Similarly, the various images you can see it over. For example, I want to write on the image. For example, if I want to write on the existing image, simply select on the pen option. You can write on this. For example, nitrogen cycle. Simply click. For example, I want to write nitrogen cycle on this. Simply click on this and then you can write it. So like this, you can play with the images. Now, for example, sometimes it may be required that you are teaching a class, a UKG EVS part, and you are explaining this one. You can use the PDF file. You can move the PDF file the way you want it, and you will be able to write on the PDF file also. For example, I won't write on the PDF file. Simply go to the pen option. You can mention, for example, now I can mention it as crow. I can mention it, for example, as a duck. For example, I can mention it as an eagle. So I can write on the images also, so which actually helps me in conveying things better. By doing whatever is there in the book, the same thing can be presented on the screen using a document camera, and then you can start teaching it immediately. Now, sometimes in the classroom, I may be required to use a dictionary. Now, dictionary is one of the fantastic things. I want to find a meaning of the word. I have got a tablet input panel over here. For example, I want to find a meaning of a word called as schedule or schedule. Now, simply type in the word whatever you want to write. It is over there, and then you can click insert. The word comes over here, and then you can find it. Click it, and it will come to know how it is actually pronounced. Okay, you can hear it with your speakers also. Now, for example, I want to find extra how a particular word is used in forming a sentence. For example, a punishing training schedule. So what's your schedule for this morning? The training schedule wasn't very well thought out. Similarly, so like this, you will also get the word formation that can use particular dictionary option. Now I also want to know the synonyms for the schedule option. Here you click on this, you got everything ready. So the beauty of all this technology is the teacher need not write or erase any of these things. Everything can be saved. It saves at least 30 to 40% of her productive teaching time in the classroom, which otherwise will be basically devoted for her writing and erasing things. Now similarly, you got something called exercise over here. You can also work out, for example, I want to teach about grammar in the classroom. You will get all these things ready. Now for example, there are fill in the blanks, which this to write all these things in the classroom, the teacher will take approximately 5 to 8 minutes, and she cannot produce all these kinds of a drop down menu, something like this. So there are over here. Now you want to find out answers. The answers are ready. You can clear these answers. You can go for more options. You will get more and more examples like this. We have an option called as pictures. Now with the pictures, you can actually, the moment I say a word, I can also bring a picture out of that. For example, what is ambush? So I have a picture. I have what is an arm? I have got a picture. So wherever things can be expressed with the pictures, it's easy to display it on the screen. For example, mustache or mushroom, it's very easy to be shown on the screen. Now coming back to this one, Now we have already seen how this interactive technology can be used in teaching. Now some of the advantages of this interactive classroom solutions are, for the teacher's perspective, this helps in increasing the effectiveness and the productivity in the classroom. Basically because the animations, the real images, the diagrams, they help the teacher in explaining the most complex or even the minute part of the concept in an extremely easy manner. This actually saves a lot of time, basically because the teacher need not draw all the things. She can simply project it on the screen, and also it helps in explaining the difficult concepts, okay, across all kinds of learners, irrespective whether the student is scoring more than 80% or less than 80%. The ability to write or mark or annotate on the animation, it saves a lot of time for teachers. This marked annotated diagrams and images can either be saved or recorded, which in turn helps in doing a quick recall and revision. The image capture and the zoom option helps the teacher to capture and zoom only that part of the animation zoom animation diagram, and then write and mark on that captured image. That results in accurate explanation of the concept. From the student's perspective, it helps in understanding or comprehending the subject in the highest possible manner. Not only that, because they have understood the concept, they're able to retain and then recall. The ability to work with the animations and diagrams and other features associated with the technology is sure to help students in comprehending and recall. The quiz, worksheets, puzzles, games, and other interactive tools help the student in improving their critical thinking, decision making, ability to work in a team, and leadership abilities to a great extent. Now these are some of the advantages what we have listed, but now the usage entirely depends on on how the teacher actually prepares herself for the lesson. With the time, definitely the usage also and efficiency also will increase. Now in case, now this is how an interactive technology can be used in the teaching. Now in case you have got more doubts, now you can simply write it to us at at shikshak.els at the rate gmail.com, or you want to know more about our company or the solutions, then you can simply visit www.Shels.in, or else you may directly call on to us at 944-956-9899, or you can call on to us at 9242945061. Thank you.